All right, so this video is to demonstrate how to do the hand sewing on the stuffed animal. So what you're going to do, the first thing is you're going to take your thread and you're going to get a hand needle. If you do not have a hand needle, I have extra hand needles in my plastic drawers, and there's little pouches that have hand needles, but most of the kits came with hand needles, so you should be able to get one. You're going to take the edge. If the end isn't blunt, go ahead and just cut the end off. Mine is already good to go. So you're just going to go through the edge right here like this, and you're going to pull it through so it's double like this. Okay, so make sure that it is double in length. You can make it about this long. Do not do any longer than that, even if it's not enough to complete your hand stitching. If you do it too long, it'll get all tangly. So it's better just to do it a little bit shorter and then start a new one if you need to. So you're going to cut the end off here, and then you're going to take both of your edges, okay? And when you take both of your edges, you're going to create a double knot. There's a special way to do a quilter's knot, but for beginners, I noticed that this way is easier. So you're going to take it, you're going to make a circle. Oops. Okay, let's try that again. You're going to make a circle like this, okay? Then you're going to take your edges and you're going to go through the circle with just your ends here, and you're going to create a knot. This is called an overhand knot, okay? So you're just going to make one overhand knot like that. Okay, so it's really small, but it's right there. Then you're going to take it again, and you're going to create another overhand knot by pulling the edges through. But the trick for this is you're going to use your thumb and your forefinger, and you're going to push that overhand knot so that it lands on top of the other one. Want to make sure it lands right on top. So you got to use your thumb and forefinger to push it right there. So mine was right next to each other, but it wasn't right on top. So I'm going to do it one more time to make sure that it's solid. Okay, if you're struggling with this, you just need to keep practicing, or you could maybe have a friend help you until you get it. Okay, now that's perfect. You see how nice and big that knot is? That is what you want to do, okay? So then you're going to take your hand needle. You have your patch. You can use felt or fleece for your patch, whatever you can find in the scrap bin. Felt is better. Felt has a stiffer feel to it, and it's better for patches just because it's easier to work with, okay? So now what you're going to do is notice how I have some blue markings from where I drew my heart. I'm going to flip it over so we don't see those, okay? I'm going to put it right over my hole. Then I'm going to take this, and you're going to go under the underside of your felt, maybe like a 1/4 inch in, like that. Okay, make sure it's the underside of your felt. You might need to watch this video multiple times in order for you to get it. Okay, so then notice how I have extra thread sticking out here, but it stops because that knot kind of holds it together. So I'm just going to cut the extra off, and then I'm just going to tuck this underneath so you can't see it now. Okay. The stitch I'm teaching you is the overcast stitch. There are many different kinds of stitch, like slip stitch, but we're going to do the overcast, and this is the one you need to do on your real stuffed animal for your grade, okay? The purpose of this is just to teach you different kinds of methods, okay? So now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go in the stuffed animal directly below, okay? Directly below where my original spot was. So I'm going to go in the stuffed animal right there. Then I'm going to bring it in and bring the needle up directly next to here, about a 1/4 inch of away. Will you go grab me a pen from my desk? Okay, so I'm going to go perfect, thanks. So I'm going to go a 1/4 inch away right there and pull that through. So now I have a perfect stitch that is straight right there. And I'm going to keep doing that. So I'm going to go directly below and bring it up a 1/4 inch away. So when my needle goes in, my needle's diagonal, but my stitch will be straight. Now you want to tighten it each time. You don't want to tighten it too hard, but if your threads start separating or you get a loop, you can separate these two threads here, and you can pull on each thread individually to kind of straighten that out, okay? Now let's say that you're struggling to keep it lined up. You can use a pen, and you can draw your stitches in like this to make it easier for you to follow, okay? So I recommend, if you're struggling, because I'm not going to let you turn it in until the stitches are straight and neat. So if you're struggling, I recommend using this method to help you, okay? So go in below, and I'm going to bring it up on top of where my pen mark is. So see how the pen mark can help me know exactly where to go. So you're going to keep going until you get all the way around. Notice how I just go into the bottom of the pen mark and then bring it up to the top of the next pen mark. So if you're struggling with keeping it straight, now notice right here, it's kind of split a little bit, and I have one thread that's higher than the other thread. So you can pull on one of these at a time until it straightens out. So this can help you practice until you get better at your measuring, okay, using the pen marks. In order for you to get full points on your stuffed animal, your stitches need to be accurate. Okay, so you're going to keep going in the same method until your thread gets too small. So I'll show you when to stop. Okay, so let's see, I can probably go a few more stitches. Remember, your stitches have to be neat and straight and even. If they're not neat and straight and even, you need to keep doing it until they are. And you need to check with the teacher to make sure that they're neat and straight and even. Okay, so you're going to keep going in this method until you have about, let's see, about this much thread left. Then you need to tie it off and start a new one, and how you do that is you're going to go in your fleece here and make a very, very tiny stitch. So you're just going to go in just a little bit like that, okay? And then you're going to go through the stitch that you just made, and then see how there's a loop right here? You're going to bring your needle through that loop. You're going to do that about 3 or 4 times, okay? So through the stitch, through the loop, and you're going to, so like I said, 3 or 4 times, and then you're going to cut it off, and you're going to tuck your ends underneath your patch, okay? Like this. Now let's say that it's sewed and it's too small and you can't get it in. You can use like a pen or a needle or something to poke those threads underneath so that you can't see them anymore. Then you're going to go ahead and rethread your needle and start again, and then just keep going until you get all the way around. And then you're going to have me check you off, and after I check you off, or after the teacher checks you off, I'm going to show you how to do the button, how to sew the button on there. Okay, that's it for this step.